Greetings and salutations, and may this day be of service to you. Welcome to There's Only Now. I'm your host, Talib, where my mission is just to help you remember the truth. Today we're going to talk about something that I've been seeing going around a lot, which is this is a simulation, the world is a matrix. And I hear people speak on this a lot with certainty. And listening, I understand what they're saying, but I can also see how what they're saying can be completely misunderstood. And it's hard to actually see it in a way that is tangible, or maybe something that you can actually get your mind around to where you can make some sort of changes and affect your world in the matrix. So I'm just going to share this with you from my understanding of what the matrix truly is. The matrix are stories. That's right, the matrix is stories. It's not a code, it's not math. Math isn't even real. Math is a construct of human logic, making sense out of what we're experiencing, defining it. That is the importance of words. We define things, and experiences are encapsulated or shaped by words. So the matrix is actually stories. So I'm going to give you an example of the Matrix story. Or one of the earliest stories is, in the beginning, there was nothing. Or, in the beginning, there was a big bang that occurred that set into motion a series of events that led to our happening. But there's not a human alive that experienced it. There isn't a human alive that can run their lineage back of oral stories to tell you what happened in the beginning. We have books and ancient texts from people we've never experienced. This world is merely a series of stories we believe to make sense out of what's happening right now. Because now is the only thing that's eternal. It's always happening. And in now, things are always changing. But now is always happening. You can only experience your life from now. So with the matrix, it being stories, how you can test this matrix, I will tell you. The stories are your beliefs of how you see this world and what you keep reiterating and reinforcing about what you think is happening either to you or around you. It is our conditioned responses to situations that make us feel like we have to behave a certain way. This is the matrix. And those that seem to understand that have taken control of the matrix by taking control of your perception, how you're perceiving things. So if you'd like to test this matrix boundaries in a tangible, testable, and retestable way, this is all you have to do. Don't follow the script. You're playing a character, but who's writing the character? You have the power to write your character, and I'm going to prove it to you. And this is all you have to do. The next time you are in a situation to where you normally respond a certain way, it could be when you're angry or when you're experiencing money, or financial situations or relationship situations, or you're in a situation with a particular group of people or individuals, and you have a conditioned response. You walk into it going, oh, I already know that they're going to behave this way. What I want you to do is I want you to first, this is our first practice, and I'll give you another one. But our first practice will be this. When you are ready to respond the way the matrix wants you to respond, your emotion, if it makes you angry and you feel like you have to, I want you to do the total opposite. I want you to do something totally separate from what the situation is telling you. And I want to give you an example. I was a photographer for Dodge, Jeep, and Ram. And I worked one of the biggest lots in Las Vegas by myself doing all the photos. And I was very efficient. I knew how to do the job well. I've worked in film for a long time, and so my efficiency was very high. They for some reason, my own mental perception, they had it out for me. So one day in particular, I come into the skyboxes where the salespeople are, and the main sales supervisor in that area also dealt with me for the pictures. And one day he called me in and he tried to, I guess, berate me in front of people and saying things in an unprofessional manner and completely unnecessarily. My reaction initially inside was to become upset because I knew I was doing a good job and I felt like I wasn't being recognized for it. But I knew this secret now and I wanted to test it, and it was the perfect opportunity for me to do so. And in that moment, instead of going after him and saying, this is unfair, I don't like what you're doing, this, you shouldn't do this to me, and these other things, and look at all the work I've done. Instead, I said, sometimes the sun shines and there's still clouds. And in that moment, the entire sales box froze. They were on calls, they were making calls, they were moving around, laughing, talking, and they was listening to the scolding, having their little Snickers, and all of a sudden everyone froze. It got quiet for about 2 seconds or so. No one said nothing. He just looked at me stuck. And then all of a sudden he just laughed and smiled and said, hey, okay, man, have a great day. And everybody started laughing and going about, and I just walked out the door and I was looking back going, it's true. It works. This is a very powerful technique to show you that you are in a matrix, but it's not what they're trying to convince you it is. It has nothing to do with source codes and numbers and some computer. It has everything to do with consciousness. And how you are experiencing consciousness is from a place of awareness and experiences. And those experiences are framed into stories or things you think are happening, and you explain them. Right? This is the matrix, and they've been feeding you the story of your life. But what happens when you begin to write your own? And the second method is powerful. It is probably equally as powerful as the first one. And that is the law of assumption. Now, the thing with the law of assumption is you don't need visualizations. You don't have to sit there and attempt to see these things. You just merely need to assume that it's going to work out for you. Now, how you can test this is I'm not going to say everyone, but I'm pretty sure that there's a high number of people that will come in contact with this video that can relate to having situations where they have to deal with people, and before they go in to deal with them, they're already assuming it's going to go bad, that this person is going to be difficult, that they're going to give me problems. But when I am suggesting, and just ask, and please keep this in mind, everything that I suggest to you is absolutely free. It doesn't cost you. It's just merely attempting to see if it works with an open mind. All you have to do is this, is you just merely assume they're going to say whatever you want them to say. Assume it and begin to feel it. What would it feel like if they were saying the things you want to hear? And just before you interact with them, just assume they're going to do what you want. And then when you walk into the situation, just be open and observe. And watch. They will behave in manners that is acceptable to your belief system. This is the secret. So I would like you to leave a comment in the comment section if you feel so kind to, if you give this a shot and give it a try, to let me know what you think, how it worked for you, if it didn't work for you, so we could talk about maybe why it didn't work for you. But I have a great feeling and knowing, and I believe the world has pushed out from me that it will work for you. So please leave a comment, like, share, and subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one.